Welcome. What you will be seeing here today is something quite special. Something that remained a mystery for thousands of years. The secret behind one of the ancient star symbols. The star symbol, known as the Star of Ishtar by the ancient Sumerians. Known as the Star of Lakshmi in Hinduism. The Dharma wheel in Buddhism. Also known as the symbol of hope by the Native American Indians. In Islamic cultures known as Rubo el-Hizbi, and is also referred to as Khatim Sulayman, the seal of the prophets. Generally known as the eight-pointed star, or the octagram. It is a star of many names. A star, connecting a number of different cultures, for a reason long forgotten. And today, probably for the first time in thousands of years, we will reveal its magic again. Observation. The obvious similarity which connects all these star symbols in one is that they're all eight-pointed stars. But the difference in the details which you might find interesting later on, is that some of these symbols speak of an eight-pointed star in a combination with rings, and some, in a combination with squares. While the Dharma wheel speaks of that star as of the crossing of horizontal, vertical, and diagonal straight lines. Another observation which is of crucial importance in reading this symbol for what it is that the Latin alphabet is in fact constructed in accordance with this star symmetry too. As we can see in this example, when all the letters of the Latin alphabet are overlapped and mirrored, they will form this star symbol, a rectangular box, and two ovals. And now we have a symbol that speaks of the same star in a combination with both the rings, squares, and the crossing of horizontal, vertical, and diagonal straight lines. Chapter 2. The square. The role of the square, in this instance, is to demonstrate how this star symmetry is a completely logical construct, and that this symmetry is in no way, shape or form a human design. To demonstrate, a square, with its own natural appearance, speaks of 8 basic points, which are interconnected in a circular manner. These 8 basic points on a square, and the order in which they are interconnected, speak of a sequence of lines, which will once continued in the same manner, draw the same 8-pointed star. We can now conclude that the presented symmetry is not a man-made construct, but a logical self-constructing appearance. The appearance of this symmetry is based on a sequence of lines we were not the inventors of. The arrangement of lines, the angles under which those lines will intersect, the relation between the lines, or what shapes will appear in between the lines, was at no point under our control. In lack of better wording, the appearance of it was rather in control of the existing sequence found in nature. It was in control of the steps we recognize as logical. So this particular construct is clearly not something we can view as man-made, as we strictly followed the rules of an already existing sequence found in the appearance of squares and rectangles. The human mind works in such way that it understands this construction as logical. So we are safe to say that whatever this symmetry manages to show us from this point forward, it will evidently not be a human idea or a human design, but rather something that is written in the laws of the universe. It will be a phenomenon we can assign to nature. The following observation works on confirming that the things revealed to this point are consistent with the true intent of the makers of symbols and writing systems. The 3 keys that we found earlier on top of this star actually spell box. Again pointing on the fact that the combination of these symbols is the right combination, and that the box alone is holding it all. Unless there is something in the socks. So why exactly was this symbol used in all those different cultures and religions all around the world? Why did the people state that the symbol was brought to them by gods and goddesses? How can this symbol justify their persistent claims? Is it possible that this symbol explains or proves something about this world that we have overlooked? Is the math used in the construction of this symbol actually evidence of their encounters with gods? Is the mere existence of this logical construct actually proof that an aware creator must be behind its construction? Will we have to study complex logics and math in order to witness such construction as evidence? Maybe. But maybe we just have to take a better look. Together with the missing links that we've found in the Latin alphabet, which turned out to be of crucial importance in reading this symbol for what it is. This symmetry reveals the most remarkable thing. By marrying the fragments of this star symmetry with these rings, the invisible becomes visible, the separated, united, the destined, joined, the hidden, revealed, the shattered, complete. By filling the fragments of this star symmetry with colors, this star starts displaying images of this world. What we're witnessing here is one of the shortest logical sequences in nature, drawing the human world in its entirety. It is the geometry of a blank sheet of paper, depicting the whole reality. However confusing, or hard to believe, this symmetry is demonstrating high awareness and intelligence behind its construction. It is demonstrating an aware designer behind itself, while evidently not being a human construct. This symmetry makes no mistakes in accurately depicting the world we're in. With all the right details, on all the right places, and with every single thing properly placed where it belongs, this symmetry is demonstrating the impossible. With a vast number of drawings, where each and every single one of them is depicting the right appearance and the right place of all things, it is proving itself to be no coincidence. This symmetry is accurately depicting the basic appearance of all things, and is accurately placing those things where they naturally belong. This phenomenon calls for a serious investigation on how something like this is even possible. This phenomenon is undeniably a sign from behind the veil. A sign of a grand design. This is a drawing, worth all the words. Spoken in the language of all nations. Each and every fragment of this symmetry works in the favor of confirming that this layout is purposely designed so. Knowing that we are not the creators of it, and that accidents are not this pretty, what else can explain this phenomenon of all the right details and shapes appearing on all the right places? Each and every single thing that we can find in it, and we can find it all, is being accurately depicted, and accurately placed where it belongs, surrounded with all the right details necessary in depicting the true nature and use of each and every single thing. For example, if we find a table in it, on its surface we will find the shape of bread, fish, a bottle, newspaper, a coffee pot, a knife, a bowl, a cooking bell, a fly, the crumbling of bread, an ant, hauling the breadcrumb, and much more of what the table is for. If we find a river in it, in the river we will see the reflection of the moon, fish, shells, rocks, the fish after the fly, and much more of what the river is associated with. We will find the ants on top of anthills, hauling flies and mosquito wings, the flies around the food, and the dogs under the table. And we will not find the dogs on top of anthills, nor the dogs climbing the tree, nor the flies missing from where they tend to be. After all, and among countless other things, this symmetry not only that it displays static images with everything on the right place, but the images can also come to life. Short movies can be made within it and actions performed. All the details necessary in depicting an accurate movement of things are already drawn alongside those things. How do we explain that the true nature, and the exact function of all things, is being accurately depicted inside of this star symmetry we were not the designers of? How do we explain that the arrangement of lines we were not in control of draw all the right details on all the right places? How do we explain a star painting life. And before I leave, here's something for Christmas. If we find a manger in it, we will find that the sheep are reaching inside. And inside the manger, we will find a child, with a yarmulke on his head. A child, associated with the light of the world. Associated with bread. Associated with a lamb. Born in a barn, under the star, next to a donkey and a bull. Some would say, in a cave. And some would say, under the evergreen tree. Surrounded with sheep and their shepherds. Sleeping peacefully. Dreaming of fish.